Hey guys, Bro here. Um, Now this is gonna be different from my regular videos because this is gonna be one of those teaching videos on animation. Now I'm not sure if I'm gonna upload this or not, but I am gonna share this video with. Wait, he's actually in here. This guy on Peely. He wanted me to rate his animation, and I feel like I should go over what makes Dreams animations pretty good. First, I'm gonna dissect my teaser for Sonic the Hedgehog Open World. Now this is a project I'm making, and here's a little sneak peek of it, essentially. But anyways, it's what it is. It's an open world project. But yeah, this is what I'm working on right now, and this is gonna have a lot of cutscenes. I want to have a lot of cutscenes in this game, but the thing is, you have to be a good animator to make good cutscenes. Otherwise, your animations are felt lifeless and not exciting enough. So that may beg the question: what is bad animation? Well, I'll tell you. First, let's dissect my open world teaser, which is heavily informed by animation. Now let's watch this, and then I'll dissect it. Now, I'm not the best animator. I have a lot to learn. However, I took everything I wanted out of these characters to be put into the game. I wanted this to show that, oh yeah, this is gonna have some decent animation for Dream standards. Now again, I'm not the best. I don't think my work is the best in Dreams. I just think it's decent enough to pass on what I'm trying to teach you guys here. So first, let's just get rid of let's just hide every other model except for Sonic, and then we'll see his animation frame by frame. So, first he is in this pose, and then he goes on to land here. Now, as he lands, instead of just staying in this pose, he prepares to land by putting his feet towards the ground and preparing his hand to kind of balance himself as he lands. Now, then, once he lands, I could have done a second landing animation, but Sonic is a carefree guy, and he likes to show off a little bit. So that's what I did. He twirls, and when I did the twirl, I wanted it to be kind of great. And that's kind of what I did, kind of what I didn't do, but now there's a lot of detail when it comes to this. Because you see how this foot stays roughly in the same spot as the rest of the body turns? That's what makes good animation. Now, not the twirl itself, because as you can tell, this might be a little bit uncomfortable for Sonic. It is not realistic in the slightest, but it all moves so fast you can't really tell anyway. So next, he does a simple thumbs up. Now, you could have it so, like, when he's done twirling, he just goes in that pose. However, this is where the most critical part of animation comes in. So, when he starts to leave this pose, instead of going right to here, there's a fallout pose, where the character begins to start the next animation, but to make it feel real, the body does other movements before doing it, leading up to this pose. And so, could have it like this, or like this. What's far more appealing? That's the question. Yeah, I thought so. Okay, now that we dissected Sonic, oh yeah, real quick, he just goes in this pose for the rest of the time he's here. But let's dive into the other character's animation in this scene. Okay, next we got, I'm not gonna do all of them, but I think I might show two at once to make this go faster. Okay, how about Tails and Amy? Okay, hide Sonic Knuckles. So when they land, again, they're in their poses. Tails decides to land squarely on his feet. Oh, that's not supposed to happen. Yeah, this is what you call an animation error. I looked over this when I published the scene and didn't realize it existed until now. I don't know, it's kind of weird. Tails' animation isn't really that as impressive as Sonic's. It's just a simple land, then give a simple pose, you know. However, there, again, like Sonic, there is a pose that leads up to this pose. Again, this is very important to animation because if you don't have the in-between, it's gonna look lifeless, like I said before. Now let's take it away and see what it looks like without it. Kind of stiff, don't you think? That's why you gotta have in-betweens. Now for Amy, when she lands, she slams the ground with her Pico Hammer and rebounds off of that, flips into the air, catches herself on the ground, and finally rests her hammer on her shoulder. Again, this uses in-between frames to make it, you know, more realistic and whatnot. And to avoid the hammer clipping into her head, never mind. But to avoid clipping, I decided to go with that. But apparently that didn't help out as well. But oh well, as long as it's a fast animation, clipping doesn't matter that much. But again, you gotta avoid that, as well as the other issues I mentioned. And yeah, this pretty much all that is done to Amy. Now, finally, let's check out and Knuckles. Now, the reason why I'm showing you all this is because you gotta think about the character. Because Tails is kid-like, so he doesn't do that much posing when he lands. Knuckles is very tough, so he decides to go all tough-like and acts like he's big bad. Amy is a carefree spirit who has a Pico Hammer and is very athletic. At least that's what I want from this character. So I took all their personalities into account when animating all this. So we have characters that have distinct personalities right from looking at their posing. If you knew nothing about Sonic and looked at these animations, you'll probably guess their attitudes. The cocky free spirit, the normal free spirit, kind girl, the tough nut, and the child. Now, I don't want to discourage any people who like to do animation, but I'm sorry, Unpeely, but I'm gonna use you as an example. Now again, I don't expect people to be gods at animation. Believe me, I am not good at either. However, Unpeely, for your first animation test, I gotta explain a few things. Now I can't really edit the scene and slow it down, but I'll probably do it in post or something. But first of all, so this model right here moves a little too fast in this section here. Now there's obviously a limit, or not limits, but there's obviously a balance you gotta achieve, because us humans, we don't have the reaction time to quickly move our hand from one pose to the other. So timing is very important when it comes to animation, because if you just have stiff movements like these, it'll definitely look unrealistic and unlively. I'm not sure what this pose is, probably running, but that's a jump, I think.
Feeling good.
Now, what Unpeely did was move a couple body parts at a time. However, as you saw with my other... Oh, sorry. If you saw my animation that I just showed you, I moved lots of body parts at once to make it feel lively. And that's the key with the animation that I do. You gotta move multiple body parts at one time, but that doesn't always mean it's gonna be better. The rest is just nonsense. But like, let me go back to my scene again. And let me just tweak a few things about the teaser. So, whenever you have... So, again, I move multiple body parts at one time to convey human movements, kind of thing. Like, it takes force to move your body, and I could have had this hand stay constant throughout the whole time, you know, but I constantly change the hand's rotation and position from the body, because we don't mechanically move our arm in a perfect straight line, you know, and we don't move it that fast either. Again, it's all about that balance. And in the twirl, I could have just have Sonic stay in this exact pose and then just rotated the entire body around until he finished the twirl animation. But no, I actually handcrafted it so that it looks dynamic with every turn he takes. So, like, see here, this pose is different from this pose, because the legs are in different positions, almost, and the hands change their positions as well. Because again, we don't just move when we twirl, we don't have the some people just don't have the energy to manually keep it in one spot. Otherwise, it's, you know, it's gonna look weird, obviously, because I know I'm comparing human movement to an anthropomorphic blue hedgehog, but my point still stands. I also want to go over Amy for a second. Now, whenever she does this movement, let me just... Obviously, she does stay in one pose throughout the entire time, kind of thing. I will admit to that. However, it is important that I tell you the reason why. Her skirt is in the way. So, whenever you have models like these, it is very hard to animate them, because the legs are restricted by the fabric, and you can't move the fabric without deleting it entirely. So there are some limitations to animation, but that doesn't mean that you can't, you know, not make it work with them. Yeah, Amy's legs are basically constricted to her skirt, but I did find a way to make it more interesting. And that's why I did the twirl to begin with, because I knew that I couldn't do the poses I wanted with Amy. So I just improvised that fit with her character still. It's all about character, like I said. I don't really know what else to say without repeating myself, but it's all about that character. It's all about it. Yeah, here's a little in-depth of Knuckles. Lands. Confident stance. And fists galore. Now his torso is moving along with his hands, and I guess so is his head, because it kind of moves as well. Now now Unpeely, if you're watching this, don't take it from me. as you know, because again, I'm not the best, and some of my advice I just gave out isn't really that good, because I'm still just a noob at animating. But that doesn't mean that whatever I say here doesn't mean anything. I'm really confident in my animation skills, and I just really love animating to begin with. And I'm looking forward to this open world project. And now, before I go off, this is the end of the video, so to say. However, I do want to show off one other thing. How Tails work an open world project. This is still a work in progress. However, I'm going to show you guys anyway. So, you know how Tails is a genius? And that can make, you know, inventions? I kind of did that. And if you're wondering why the ring counter is slowly going up, every 20 rings, you get, you know, a gear you can use to, you know, fix things. So, you know, now I don't really want this right now, so I'm gonna. Still work in progress. But you know, that's all I got. That's all I got for me. Yeah, it's mostly for Peely, who is still getting into animation, and I feel like oh, that is not a good pose. I'm not gonna go on a tangent about that though. But still, if you guys enjoyed this video, like, subscribe, and let me know if you want more of these where I dissect people's games and, you know, review them, so to say, and whatnot. Maybe review some Sonic games or something that kind of fail in animation or something. I don't know. I might not do another one like this, and maybe just give updates or development history of Sonic Open World. I'm not sure what the actual title is going to be, but yeah. Okay. End the video this time.